Alright, so welcome back to a new Bitwig video on this channel, and on this one we need to talk about the global project remotes to use it as a sidechain. I have a kick, a bass, and a synth, and if I play it, it sounds like this, right? So we need to do some ducking right here. I'm gonna start with the synth. If I go all the way down at the bottom, we have project, and then we have, the track remote. In this case, we care about the project remote. So what we want to do is a common way of doing sidechaining. So if I open this, you have the macros of the project remotes, but you can use the modulators to do some duck sidechaining. We can use different modulators, but I believe that the segments is the one to go. So if I go to segments and I select this one, I'm going to say, okay, we are going to be getting a funky shape like this. Okay, so first, before we do anything, we need to configure what's going on right here, because if I play it, nothing is going to happen first. Now, this is not how we want to sidechain, but still, I'm going to keep it like that. So I'm going to stop it. The thing is that we want to map this modulation source to duck the volume of something. You can duck it, you can duck the synthesizer directly, but my favorite choice would be using a tool at the end of the chain, so we don't have to modulate this volume. And it's because maybe later you want to add something right here in between, and you will need to adjust whatever sidechaining you're doing. So in this case, the tool is going to be my final or my last device on this chain. So I'm going to click it and I'm going to be ducking the volume. This is what we want to do. Now, if I play it, still nothing happens. It's not even moving. And it's because we need to duck following the groove of the kick. Now, to do this on the project remotes, you need to select the project remote. And right here at the top, you have different options. You need to go to this one, the one that says Show Modulation Mappings by Source. So right here, it gives you an option to select an input. And then segments will be listening or triggering to that input. In this case, we need to select the kick. This is the one we want. So I'm going to go to the kick, and I'm going to be selecting it. And now if I play it, notice it's triggering. And it's doing the sidechaining. It's a, very weird sidechaining, but it is doing it. Now, the thing is that now, what we need to do, we need to configure whatever is going on right here to do with the proper sidechaining. First of all, what it's doing now, it's looping on the sustain part. We don't want this. I'm going to do something like that. And now, notice that the kick is super short and it will never end right here. So maybe we can go here and select that this is going to be an 8th note, just like the kick. And then we adjust the waveform. I'm going to be deleting this. I'm going to keep it like that. And now it sounds like a sidechain. Now remember, right here you can do Alt, and you can drag up. You're going to be getting a different type of sidechaining, different shape, sounds different. Or maybe you can go all the other way, or just linear by double clicking. And I'm holding the Alt or Command. In this case, I'm going to do something like this. And there you go. Now, this is going to be on a project level. It's not working on a track level. So if I want to do the same thing to the bass, I'm going to go to the bass. We have the project segments all kind of ready to go. So the only thing I need to do is to select this and map the sidechaining. And if I play it back, now both are sidechaining or ducking the bass and the synth following the kick. Right. So this is a new nice little way to do this sidechaining. You still can use your compressor or whatever it is that you use for sidechaining, but if you want a more global solution, now you can do it with segments. Some things that you need to take into account is that this is, again, global. So if you go faster or you go slower, it's going to affect all the tracks at the same time. Remember, you have the smoothness right here. If I go up, it's going to smooth whatever instruction that we are doing. And if I maybe go right here and disable it, it's pretty aggressive because there's no smoothing, but that's fine. So what if I wanted to do the same thing, but on a track level, not on a global level? So I'm going to keep this. I'm going to select this one. Remember, we have the modulator right here, and we can adjust, how is doing the ducking. In this case, I'm just going to be deleting everything. I'm just going to keep the project, the global modulator. And I will go to this one in this case, and I'm going to be doing segments again. I'm going to find it. There we go. I'm going to select it. And now I want to do the same thing, but this one works only on a track level. If I add it right here, it will not be or exist on the bass track, for example. Now, if I play it, it's doing a modulation, because it's triggering to the track level, to the MIDI signal, but it's not doing it with a kick. So when I select this track remote, we have the same option. What do we want to listen? I'm going to be listening to the kick, and now it's groovy to the kick. And we do the same trick. I'm going to go right there. Just going to delete all of this. I'm going to kaboom all of this. And I'm going to be adjusting the 8th note, and now we get it. Now, let me go. And there we go. Okay. But this is only happening on the synth. And this one is not happening on the bass. Right? So you can handle this independently, and you can do it globally if you wanted to. Oh, this one is doing it. Let me just do this. So now the bass is following the global project, and the synth maybe has a different instruction. Let me close this one. Maybe on this one, on the synth, we are going to be going the other way. And now we have different types of sidechains, different types of envelopes. Now still, this is a new feature that we get on Bitwig 5, but you still might want to use maybe shaper box or whatever it is that you do use for sidechaining. You can still use it, but maybe if you don't want to use shaper box or maybe an additional plugin, you can use the the local implementation of pretty much the same thing. All right, so hopefully all of this was useful, and remember to like and subscribe, and see you on the next one.